Armstrong's back at the track. It is gone.
Laying in the ground to short. Picking it up, Ortiz over to first. Ball game. And the Brewers advance to the NLCS.
Jacob Mizorowski.
Unreal. I mean, this is all I could ever ask for. It's awesome.
That's as low as it can be.
Oh, my goodness. Right to Graves' belly.
Eric, he's 6'5", 295 pounds. How could you not see him?
This is not acceptable. It doesn't matter who's coaching the team right now, man.
Last two games in the series, Iowa has won by a combined score of 79-10.
I'm crushed, disappointed in myself, in our team, but we got one thing to do, and we got to keep swinging.
It's out to the tight end, Kraft. Galloping inside, touchdown!
The Packers won this game because of Jordan Love.
That was one of the better games that he's played for us. I thought he played his ass off.
And Jacobs, oh, look at right down the middle. Touchdown for the second time today.
We have now a 3-week sample where we are 1-1-1. You can't be more meh than 1-1-1.
This is a really emotional time right now.
Big guns in the building. Big juice, man. Let's go!
Touchdown!
To win this series the way we did, I'm just grateful.
And the Brewers are going to the championship series.
Step one is making sure that we find the guys that are going to compete.
The bottom line is you got to find a way to win the game.
We find ways to win, you know.
Nothing like this.
You ready for the Dodgers?
Of course, we're always ready.
Nothing like this. Nothing like this.
A Johnny Schmorgas montage edition. Wow, nice work, Jesse. On the very jam-packed, lots ups, downs, positives, negatives, wins, losses. Nobody got fired other than James Franklin and apparently Trent Dilfer edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, and all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find in both the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Johnny Jesse Montage is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And from an undisclosed location, which I can disclose his location from yesterday, he was at the game. Saw him at the Tundra Trio. Saw a picture of him and my guy Vonnie Holiday, another one of my favorite former Packers who was in the house. Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, J-Dub. How are you?
I am good like Matt LaFleur and Pat Murphy, and I am better than Luke Fickell is after, as you heard in the montage, in 2 years the Badgers have been outscored 79-10.
Yeah, I don't think, I'm going to be honest with you,
Iowa Hawkeyes.
I don't think we needed that in the montage. If I'm going to, listen, I love it when Jesse does montages. I love it. But there's so much positive stuff. And listen, man, you guys know where my heart is with the Wisconsin football team. It's been a tough stretch. There's no doubt. There was way too much Wisconsin football in that montage. It is, you're talking Saturday night. That Brewers win is, I said it was the biggest game at AmFam Field ever. It was. Now, if you want to get into Miller Park and AmFam, that's another conversation. But
sure,
huge win. And then a good, solid win yesterday. Nothing sexy, but a good, solid win. I understand you have to tell the story of the sports weekend. You also could have gotten into Wisconsin's women's hockey team scoring 2 goals with 20 seconds left to beat Duluth. I mean, we could have went in a lot of different directions. That was a lot of Wisconsin, Iowa, and I didn't need to hear it, if I'm just being honest. That's just me. Is that being too homerish? Is that being unfair to Jesse? Probably. because he put a lot of work in, and it was really good, and I think it did summarize, but it gave too much. Like, that was too much in there. Jesse, am I crazy?
Well, most people weren't listening or watching the Wisconsin-Iowa game on Saturday night.
Lucky them.
So I thought that was accurate. That was kind of like Sports Center. If you're watching, what happened in the game on Saturday night? Yeah, you lived a different life than the rest of us on Saturday. So for those who missed it, that's a quick recap of Wisconsin-Iowa Saturday night. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Tausch. You recap the entire weekend, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And
too much ugly though. Ratioed
from a percentage standpoint, you feel like it should have been.
Yeah, if we're doing 100, Brewers should have been 65. I think the Badgers 10, and then 25 Packers. That's all.
Yeah, I would say that it felt to me like there were more people talking about the way things are going in Madison than the outcome yesterday. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Yeah, you wanted more. There were some ugly moments. I thought Love was magnificent, except for that one time, which he, again, unlike some of his predecessors, completely took ownership of. There were a lot of people talking about the Badgers, including Riley.
I don't think there's a lot of people talking about the Badgers. I think there's a lot of people talking about Luke Fickell, is what I think.
Yeah.
I think it's much
he is
more
the coach at the moment. Yeah. Unlike James Franklin, who was relieved of his duties at Penn State to the tune of a $49 million buyout. But that's another story for another day. We need to get to the Milwaukee Brewers are in the NLCS, and they kick off game 1 tonight. Is it a bullpen game? Because those seem to work okay.
Just ask Crancy who's starting tonight.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I got some tweets. Crancy was way ahead of the curve on this. Was he not?
He was.
He nailed it.
Y'all poo-pooed it a little bit, too. I just, unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the game in its entirety. And in fairness, I probably watched more than I should have, but I did see the highlights, and I saw...
Well, you were calling the game?
Yeah, wait a minute. I know LePay's a big Brewers fan. I know you're a big Brewers fan.
Yeah.
I know there's TVs up in the press box.
Yeah.
I know it was a blowout on Saturday night in the third and fourth quarter.
So here's what happened. We were getting updates, and we would update as something happened. And then as the game progressed and in the post-game, we were probably a little more updatey than we were post-gamey, if that makes any sense.
I think it does.
Yeah, I think that's how that played out. But I could not wait. Once, obviously, the game was a rap sheet. If we're being honest, after the first quarter, the game was a wrap in Camp Randall. I really was excited, and as I was walking out the stadium, probably at 9:30, quarter to 10, there was an eruption. And that's when I knew. And I knew that we had Uribe in, and we were trying to close up shop up 3-1. Got to my car and listened on 100.5 to an awesome postgame with Levo and Lane and the whole team bringing up Murph and his kids and pretty much every player that had played. And it's just is this the first time that the Brewers have really stolen the spotlight from the entire Wisconsin landscape? Because even yesterday, I thought at Lambeau, everybody was excited, everybody's fired up, but I think everybody's got Brewers on their mind. Even that was at the game. I think everybody's mindset is, all right, let's beat Cincinnati, and then let's get to the main event, which for the next 2 weeks, hopefully, is going to be Milwaukee Brewers baseball. That's the vibe I'm getting.
I think people were invested in the ball game as it was going on in Green Bay. I'm not sure that
you can invest in multiple things, but I'm saying
you can exactly.
I would say that was more of a bond market yesterday in comparison to an equities. The Brewers would be the equity piece, which is 60 or 70-30 is what typically younger folks split. And then the Badgers would have been crypto, which is more, 5-10 alternative investment. If you're looking at this from an investment standpoint. Packer fans were invested yesterday, by the way. I think they were invested. But I'm telling you, walking out of there, I walked out to get to do the post game after Green Bay pulled ahead by 9 is when I punched. Because then at that point I knew I wasn't going to start the post game early because the game was never the game was at least in doubt to a certain extent. But when I watched, I just compared because I was at the Detroit game and I was at this game. The Detroit game was euphoria, and yesterday it felt like to me people grabbed their lunch pails and were like, all right, let's head home. We did what we needed to. We're not going to be no champagne. We're not going to be popping bottles. We ain't celebrating anything. It was a lunch pail, get in my car, drive home kind of game. And that's kind of how I thought the game played out. And whether or not you want to say everybody was invested or not, that was the vibe I got. And it seemed like Cincinnati fans were happier knowing that they still have a shot at making a playoff with Joe Flacco after yesterday's performance than Packer fans were about beating them. That was the vibe I got.
I don't have any problem with that vibe at all. I think you're very accurately depicting the vibe. More accurately than you depicted the Crancy call, because remember, you were the one who made it McGill. He wanted to start Uribe. He finished the game.
No, he said closer.
Well,
in fairness to Crancy.
Yeah, in fairness to Crancy, and it was a good conglomeration between the two. You guys worked it out together and made it effective.
We did.
So, well done. That said, sometimes you have to win this way in this league, and it's not like they lucked into a win, like they played like garbage for the entire game.
No.
Like let's make sure we remember that with a loss, a tie, and a bye, they had not won a football game in over a month. That's a long time to go without winning, and this matters to win. And sometimes you win ugly, and sometimes you walk out going, why can't the defense get a stop in the fourth quarter, which they did not do frequently enough again yesterday? And there's other questions you can ask about their performance and be rightfully so wondering, okay, just how good are these guys? But they're 3-1-1. There are only two teams in the NFC that only have one loss. So they're flaws and all, they're in a decent spot at the moment if they keep building, and now they can go to Arizona and then go to Pittsburgh and see their old buddy Aaron Rodgers. And if they can keep winning ugly, then maybe they can win more beautifully by the end of the season.
And that was my point on the postgame last night was I think this was a really good reminder. 14.5 points. And I thought if Browning was going to be the quarterback, it would have covered. It would have been a throttle city. Yeah. And then I probably underestimated Joe Flacco a little bit. But when you look at the first half, that's what I thought the game would look like. Charlie checked down, get the ball out of your hands, and Joe, to his credit, and Zach Taylor said, you know what, this ain't working. Let's just give our guys a chance. And Cincy's O-line played a lot better than I thought they would. Mm-hmm. I thought they protected Flacco much better than I really anticipated. But this was a really good reminder of how hard it is to win in the NFL. Cincinnati was beaten down. The Lions crushed them. They were a turnover machine. They had no confidence. And you throw a 14.5-point spread on somebody, and that is obscene in the NFL. And the reason it's obscene is because you got a bunch of prideful cats, and when you put two awesome players like they have at wideout in that equation, it's a good reminder that it is hard to win. And I thought the Packers yesterday, I thought Jordan Love played a really good game. I can't wait to get into. I think I'm going to have a good argument with you today. Josh Jacobs was a dog. Their kicker came out and was absolutely, to come out from substitute teaching to doing that. Havrasek, I thought it was Jeff Hornacek for the beginning of the game. It just was a good, solid win. But the problem is, for me, I had set the bar after watching the first 2 weeks so high that right now they're not able to jump over it. And when you see what you saw early in a season, you just keep thinking it's going to get better, 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 better. And defensively, that has not been the case. It just has not been. It has not been the dominant performance. And for me, I had to admit on the postgame, I crowned this defense too early. I'm starting to become an early crown guy, which isn't where
Crowner. Yeah, that's pesky.
Early crown guy. Early crown guy. So
right.
that was all. Had we started off sluggish like we usually do, yesterday would have been, hey, good gritty win. But with the circumstances, the quarterback coming in 2 days in, a defense that has stunk most of the season, and you play that game, you can say, hey, good solid win, but you can also say, well, that doesn't look like that was a good team that played good enough to win. That wasn't a great team performance. And I have to keep reminding myself it's October 13th. There's a long slog ahead of you. And an NFL season is a slog. You have games like that. It's great to win them. You're going to be playing better and more efficiently than what you did yesterday. So it's a good win. But I fell into the, wow, did they look dynamite, Super Bowl, boo, 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 after 2 weeks.
Boop, boop,
and it's
boo.
been a regression. It's been a regression since then. And that's the reality of what we saw the last 3 weeks.
All right. Could you give us a preview of what our argument is going to be? Because I'm very curious about that.
I will. So do you want me to Pella it and then tease you? Because I can do that.
I love the sound of that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
You
When
do
it
have
comes
that
to your
skill set.
home, the smart play is trusting Gina Della and her team at Pella. And by the way, how important was home field advantage? Murph, Lambeau. Not going to talk about Camp Randall, but Lambeau and down at AmFam Field. The smart play is to trust Gina Della and her team at your home. This month, you can score a whole house of new energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month with 0 interest for up to 60 months. That's like a drive you can sustain for years, keeping your home comfortable, thanks to the incredible defense played by Pella Windows, stopping all of those drafts. So don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com. I am going to tell you something that I never thought I would say, but the interception that Jordan Love threw in the first quarter yesterday was a great sign for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers offense. I will explain next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio. you.
Goldsmiths are essential to running a jewelry store, but they're extremely hard to find.
Goldsmiths can repair jewelry, set diamonds, resize rings, and create beautiful, one-of-a-kind pieces of custom jewelry.
Most jewelry stores do not have an in-house goldsmith.
But Kessler's has 18 wonderful goldsmiths working in our 9 Kessler stores.
The average Kessler's goldsmith has more than 15 years of full-time experience.
And that's not counting all the apprentice goldsmiths and jewelry designers.
Our goldsmiths repair a lot of jewelry that we did not sell.
Bring us your broken jewelry and we'll bring it back to life.
When you see a woman with an extremely attractive, very distinctive engagement ring,
you can safely assume that it's a custom-designed, one-of-a-kind ring made by the goldsmiths at Kessler's.
When your relationship is special, you need a special engagement ring.
If you want something that's breathtakingly one-of-a-kind,
come to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 10.23 to 11.5 ounce selected varieties Mars Fun Size Candy, $4.49. 8.1 to 11.5 ounce selected varieties Bear Creek Soup Mix, $3.49. 128 ounce pale selected varieties Blue Ribbon Frozen Dairy Dessert, $5.99. 64 ounce selected variety Sunny D Citrus Drinks, 2 for $3.
I am starving.
Oh no, never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, oh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
Enter by November 12th.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night Show for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Victory Monday is brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. With delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian, Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer.
Sunshine, color in a rainbow, or use black and white.
We will get to your calls. I don't love the term Schmorgy Monday. There's something about the word Schmorgy that I don't like. I don't know why. I just don't. But we're all over the map today.
You don't have a reason?
Yeah, just don't. It feels like a weird word. It just feels weird when you say it. Smorgasbord is too long.
Part
so
of it is you're not a
Jesse's shortening
smorgasbord kind of guy either. You're not interested in going through like potluck. Like I don't think you're a potluck guy.
Remember when
like,
we first started having Justin Garcia on the show, and the first thing we learned about him is he didn't like things in crock pots?
I think there's a reason your favorite restaurant is a pizza place, just because it's just pizza.
Yeah, something easy.
Or a sushi restaurant. I want to go get and normally on Wilde and Tausch, if we were a restaurant, we would serve you Packers. But today, it's like a buffet. And I do enjoy a good buffet where I get to choose what I want. I try to avoid things with onions and mushrooms and peppers in them. But we've got all kinds.
Is that the Badger game?
I actually watched up until halftime, even though the Brewers game had started, because I wanted to see what the fan reaction was at halftime. And I was a little concerned that there wasn't booing, because that felt like maybe some apathy was starting to set in. And I found that to be a little disconcerting, oddly enough. Speaking of odd takes, I cannot wait to hear Mark Tauscher explain to me why an interception that both the quarterback himself and his coach said was a bad thing because you already had a field goal waiting to be scored on the opening drive. So, Mark Tauscher, explain yourself.
Okay, so Jordan Love has made some really dumb decisions, right? The little lateral out of the end zone against the Rams, the screen pass, obviously the killer against Cleveland, which, again, I put more on LaFleur than I do on Jordan. But Jordan did make the throw, and it was can't make that decision, right?
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that I want to keep seeing from Jordan and what I just loved about yesterday, now, in real time, I thought, Jordan, you can't make that throw. And then I was like, well, you also have to remember, you have a kicker that you don't have any clue about. You don't know if he's going to make that kick. If it was McManus, I mean, I really felt like Jordan showed off his athletic arrogance yesterday in a great way. And we asked for him to do this. Last year he was limited. He couldn't do it. And I think I heard somewhere from somebody that he has more yards rushing through these 5 games than he did all last year.
That was me.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, I said that.
I didn't hear it from you, but I'm glad that you're taking credit. Someone I had read or had heard, and it's awesome. But his athletic arrogance there of bouncing out of the pocket and kind of staying, and did he make a bad decision? He did. He didn't put it where he needed to. But that same athletic arrogance that cost us that interception in a game that I think he felt he could lean on his defense, and in the first half he could, I thought this showed some awareness by Jordan. And when push came to shove on 3rd and 9 at the end of the game when you had to have it, up 6, what did Jordan do? He rolls out to the left, and he makes an absolute dot throw. Similar, I know he rolled out to the right on the one before, but it showed that he has trust in his athletic arrogance to make that play to Matthew Golden. It was a disgustingly great throw. So while it was a bad decision, I loved seeing how he went from there to the end of the game. And that, to me, was a great sign that he's back where he is physically. He can do those things, and that didn't deter him from taking and trying to gut a team at the end of the game when he needed to. That's why I thought, even though it was a bad interception, I'm okay with it because of the circumstance and because of the athletic arrogance he showed, the negative, but then, oh, baby, the positive later in the game.
Yep. Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. What? You seem very convinced of this. He is scrambling. He's gotten away from one would-be pass rusher / sack. He's got another guy bearing down on him. He's falling to his right, out of bounds. If he throws it another 5 feet, instead of throwing it to Romeo, and he just throws it into the bench area because he's out of the pocket, they get a field goal. And by the way, if you're worried about Lucas Havrasik, who made all 5 of his kicks, they were on the 19-yard line on that play.
36-yard field goal. Okay.
He later made a 39-yarder. He later made a 43-yarder. He made all 3 of his extra points. You're right. New guy. Some guys, including Josh Jacobs, don't even know his name. Again, 2 things can be true at the same time. I thought Jordan Love was freaking awesome yesterday with the exception of that throw. Like, he was phenomenal.
But that throw,
I don't think so. I think
that's part of the chain. No, it is.
Never break the chain. No, I don't think it is. I think it's...
You want him to be just crystal perfect and never make it. Like, if you're going to make a mistake, Jason, I guess my point is, if you're going to make a mistake, that is the time to do it.
Okay. It is 3rd and 5 from the 19-yard line. He is scrambling to his right. He almost gets taken down by the first guy. The other guy's diving at his legs. He throws it into essentially double coverage with Romeo Dobbs.
He made a bad throw.
There's one guy in front of him. There's another guy who actually ends up picking the ball off behind him.
Tiparuski.
I don't I would argue that him being healthy enough to move the way he did, like he ran the ball multiple times, it is a different element. He has 88 rushing yards after 5 games. He had 83 rushing yards all of last season. I agree with everything you said. I don't see the causation between a knuckleheaded decision that he himself and his coach are saying, look, we have 3 points there. Lucas Havrisik is a professional kicker when he's not working as a substitute teacher. You don't know if points are going to be at a premium. You can't make that mistake. Jordan, again, unlike his predecessors, takes ownership of that. I don't think that should be the focus either way, whether we're discussing it as a learning moment or we're discussing it as a terrible play, because the throw he makes not long after, which is not on the move, the first one that he hits Golden on down the sideline, that was like a Rodgers throw where there is the tiniest of windows to get it in, and he makes the catch. It's a magnificent catch and a magnificent throw. The late throw that he has to Golden, that's 2 weeks in a row, or 2 games in a row, in which they had to have something, and Golden's the guy they go to. The 4th down throw in overtime. Otherwise, they lose that Dallas game, right? The one over the middle to Golden. So I thought he was fantastic. I'm not going to paint the interception that he threw as some sort of valuable mistake. I don't agree with you. So you were right.
So
we were going to argue about it.
You don't think you can learn from mistakes and
of course you do, but I think you're excusing a bad turnover by saying that it was because he learned from and played. You don't think he makes those other throws later in the game? He was great all game long with the exception of that throw. I don't think that throw had any influence on the great throw he makes later to Matthew Golden. I don't.
Okay, and you might be right, but I'm saying I love the mental makeup of him doing that and not cocooning back up and just like dinking. And that's what I like. And this is about athletic. Like, I want my quarterback to be so blank and confident that he can make all of these throws. And there was a time that wasn't the case for Jordan. Now, it's been a while, but the way he's moving and how he did that yesterday, that we didn't see last year. We didn't.
That I agree with.
And I don't want him turning the football over. I agree with him and Matt LaFleur's assessment, but I am looking at this through a lens of, all right, he made a mistake. He didn't kind of cower down, and he said, you know what? Give me it again. Let me do it again, and I'm going to throw an absolute seed at the end of the game, rolling to my left to close up shop. I love that kind of athletic arrogance. That's what I love in my quarterback, and I saw it, and that makes me happy. That's all. I'm not telling you go throw 10 picks. I don't want you farving it. Every window I can fit every ball through.
Speaking of athletic arrogance, who thinks he can throw any ball that he wants, that guy had that, and a lot of times it hurt you.
But he just missed Romeo. It was a case, yeah, he threw a bad ball. It happens.
The first defender is standing in front of Romeo. Come on, man. All right, there's so much more to get to. We do. We definitely do. And you said we would, and you were right.
Yeah, because you want everything to, and this is what happens a lot of times.
Don't do this.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You brought this fight, and now you're going to say something that you shouldn't.
No.
And you know
I'm not going to say anything.
A lot of times this will happen. Yeah, I hear it coming. I know it's coming. It's okay.
What do you think is coming?
Nope, I'm not.
What do you think?
I'm not going to be baited.
No, what?
No. It was great to see you
I'm
yesterday.
curious if you're so
Sarah
confident that you know what's coming.
It was so great to see you guys.
Is there is a certain point where you have to test yourself as an athlete and as a quarterback, and there's times that it's not going to work out the way you want. And it's awesome when you have it in position. You don't make a critical – that mistake was a bad mistake. It wasn't critical mass like Cleveland. It wasn't. You knew, and you want to lean on your defense. You want to do these things. I just thought it was – I thought it was just a great learning moment for Jordan Love to proceed forward, and it was a lesson learned. You always want – you teach your kids, get up when you get knocked down. You always say, Don't you?
I do. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. Your kids are going to hit a golf ball out of bounds.
Yeah,
and what do you want them to cry about it and never try to hit another golf ball? Or do you say, hey, take your drop and go make a bogey?
Just out of curiosity.
That's what Payne Stewart did at Pinehurst. Won a championship. What he did yesterday was the Payne Stewart of Pinehurst at the U.S. Open. He took his medicine, and then he went. It was sweet elixir. It was the medication to win a game. That's all I'm saying.
Are you honestly going to argue that you don't think he makes the throw to Golden later in the game if he doesn't throw the pick that he threw earlier in the game?
I just think it was I think he still does, but I think it's important to grow.
How much longer do we want to take mistakes he makes and keep keep viewing them through the lens of, this is another lesson for
just hold up a second, old boy. I have crushed old boy on the Cleveland pick was brutal.
No,
the Lions game
moments ago you just blamed the Cleveland pick on LaFleur. Just roll the tape.
No, it did, but I also said it was a god-awful throw that he can't make. But I also said the Rams game was brutal. You can't do it. I said the same thing about San Fran at the end of the playoff game. Can't do it. And it's nice to see when you make that. You don't think he learned from those?
I'm sure he learned from those. He didn't need yesterday's interception to learn from.
Okay.
He knows better.
Yeah, I just disagree with that. I like
You're
it when
entitled to
players
your
have
opinion,
something.
as wrong as it may be.
No, and this isn't to be whatever to you.
Oh,
this is where when you're an athlete, you have to continue to learn the lessons of getting knocked down and making mistakes.
You could not help yourself. You had to go to this well. You had to go to this well after I'm
not going to this well
because I knew that's where you were going earlier. You dink.
Because it's a growth opportunity,
and you had to go back to it. You just couldn't let it go.
In a win. In a win.
Again, he was magnificent yesterday.
Yes,
he made one bad play, which he didn't
and he
need
learned
to make,
from it and had a great afternoon. Totally learned from it.
844
Jason, we'd all love to score a 30. Hey, we'd all love to score a 35 on the ACT right out of the gates. It ain't always happening. Sometimes you go 24 and you get to 27. You do your best, right? The Bulls would have loved to won championships in the late 80s. They had to go through a process. Jordan Love had a process yesterday. It was a good day. I don't know what we're arguing about. You want him to never make a mistake. You don't ever want him to make a mistake. I want him to learn from it.
I want to accurately describe his performance, which was magnificent. He played his ass off, quote, from Matt LaFleur. He's playing at an extremely high level from Matt LaFleur. But the bottom line is he made one bad play, and it stands alone as a bad play.
And he made some of the best throws we've seen him make in a long time after that.
Right.
That is the truth.
Right, and there's not necessarily causation there, but more importantly, those 3 points that you left on the board would have been really valuable, even though it would have been on the opening drive, if Lucas Havrisik misses the 39-yarder in the final 2 minutes, and the Bengals go down and score the go-ahead touchdown because they're only down 6. So let's sugarcoat a blatant mistake.
Different conversation today. Hey, welcome to sports.
Well, I don't know. I'm not an athlete like you were. Hey, speaking of great athletes, one of my favorites, I think he's higher than you on the list now, too. Old school, 1998 first-round draft pick. Vonnie Holiday in the house. You guys he sent me a picture of the two.
Oh, you didn't even see.
Together.
I took a pic. I don't know if I took a picture with him or not. But your golf buddy from the trifecta outing circa 2005 was at the game yesterday. Got a chance to talk to him for a long time. Big Witty. Yep. Big Witty.
He and I both lost.
And I told him about the challenge that we've left out for you, and he said he would come back and caddy for you. in the quest to break 200. Yes. That's what he
We
said.
both had a lot of experience looking for lost golf balls that day at the bowl. And you probably had a Coors Light or two in celebration afterward.
Whether you're tailgating pregame and enjoying your experience during the game, celebrating big wins down at AmFam Field or at Lambeau, and you just need a moment to chill, crack open a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged. So it is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
I would like to apologize on behalf of the show for those of you that are on hold waiting to get in to talk about the Brewers or maybe the Badgers or most likely the Packers. I would like to apologize that we spent that much time arguing about how great the interception was yesterday because it was such a learning experience.
Said it was great what he
and
did
he would have
after.
never thrown the great pass he throws later in the game because if he hadn't thrown that pick on the opening drive.
Johnny, linear growth, and now you're not taking in account that there's linear growth with things. It's amazing to me. Like, I don't know how sometimes you can keep track of all your different points of view on things. You're about growth. It's not linear. It's all this other stuff. There's going to be some bumps. And here he has a bump, and then he grows and has an awesome day, and you can't acknowledge it. But that's okay. I get it. I totally understand why.
Wayne in Middleton says you're yelling too much.
All right, I'll turn it down. I will turn it down. Wayne, I appreciate it.
We'll get to your calls
Wayne,
next.
Very masculine name, Wayne.
Father-in-law's name.
Wayne Larrivee.
Wayne
Newton. Wayne Simmons. Fountains of Wayne.
Gretzky.
You're not going to put Wayne Gretzky in there? Oh, by the way, I had and Homer told me to save this for Wilde and Tausch. I know we got to get to it. Is there a quarterback first name that we've had more great ones than the name Joe? Joe. And Matt Coonan put it down. He signed off on this on the postgame show last night. Is there a better first name? Joe Montana, Joe, who else? Joe Namath, Joe Flacco. There was 3 or 4. Somebody said Joe Elway. It's John Elway.
Yeah.
But is there a better first name for a quarterback? I don't think there is. Just another one. So,
Matt.
We'll get your. Okay, stop.
Hasselbeck and who else?
Ryan.
Yeah.
Flynn.
Schaub.
We'll get to your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Coming into the game as 13.5-point underdogs, newly acquired quarterback Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals kept things close with the green and gold as they trailed 24-18 late in the fourth quarter. But a Jordan Love 31-yard completion to rookie Matthew Golden put the game away for a 27-18 win for the Packers. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
But the bottom line in this league is you've got to find a way to win each and every game. And you do it one day at a time, one game at a time. And if you're focused on anything other than that, you're focused on the wrong stuff.
The Packers will gear up to head out west to take on the Arizona Cardinals next Sunday.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Need a mortgage? Don't look far. In your backyard is where we are. Visit a Tri-City near you. Get a great rate from your hometown crew. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 4333891.
The 24th annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Baird Center. Green Bay Packers all-time leading receiver and Super Bowl champion Donald Driver will be the featured guest and keynote speaker. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp's STEAM-based education program to thousands of K-3 through 5th grade students and educators across Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org. Looking
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only. And you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door. Hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWspinecenter.com. That's OAWspinecenter.com.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Just keep going. Next play mentality, next drive mentality. Obviously, it's a bad mistake right there. We're in field goal range and, throwing an interception on the first drive. So it's tough. It's something that you never want to have happen. But it's how do you respond? And I think defense went out there and did a great job of, getting us the ball back. But it's just about moving on and responding. I think we did a good job of driving the ball down the field, but it just comes down to being smart.
That is Jordan Love, who was fantastic yesterday. Really, really, really good. Some might say magnificent, like I said on the Green Bay Game Night program with Homer. Let's get to the phones. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Let's begin. Now, Jesse, this is like dealer's choice or caller's choice, right? Like, you can call about the Brewers, you can call about the Packers, you can call about whatever you want. Brewers starting NLCS Game 1 tonight. The Badgers losing 37-0 to Iowa.
Tough. Yeah.
The Packers winning. We were using the term ugly after. I didn't think it was that ugly.
No. It was workmanlike.
Yeah,
workmanlike.
We got to the 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and I'm watching the game with Becca, and I'm like, what the heck is this doing being a one-score game? We're dominating this thing. How is it 24-18? But that's where they were.
They were at halftime. They had outgained the Bengals 240-65.
Yeah.
And they only had a 10-0 lead.
They have to get better at, knocking people out. There's your body blowing, and this isn't a case where your team doesn't have the talent to land some absolute uppercuts. That was a game you should have uppercutted them, and we didn't. And when you let teams hang around in this league, crazy stuff can happen. And yesterday, very fortunate that Jordan Love learned his lesson and threw that absolute seed to Matthew Golden to set up the field goal to go up 9. Otherwise, this conversation today could be a whole different deal. But I thought yesterday showed this, that the Green Bay Packers are a good, solid football team right now. They need a long way to go to be at the level I had them after 2 weeks.
Agreed. They also need to take the ball away once or twice. This is now 5 games.
They should have let Joe Flacco. They should have traded for Flacco so that they didn't get him. Let that Browning Nagel stay out.
I'll tell you what, he was pretty. He threw some dimes yesterday in the second half too, and it helps to have Jamar Chase on the receiving end because that touchdown he caught was ridiculous.
He's a stud. He's a stud. Absolutely.
Now there's something that we can both agree on.
Jason, that wasn't the story to me in the second half. Before we get to Ron, the story in the second half was how we didn't get to him.
Lucas Van Ness had one. I thought he was Micah Parsons for a second on the sack he had.
It's a bummer that
and then he hurt his foot.
He would have been my dog of the game if he had kept that up. He had an unbelievable run there of a couple pressures and obviously the great sack to force a field goal. Lucas Van Ness was coming on, and I hope that this isn't something that's going to take him out for a while.
He's got an MRI this morning. We will find out more. He did not break his foot, per Matt LaFleur, but he was in a walking boot and on crutches after the game. So maybe that's just precautionary. We'll have to wait and see. All right, I want to get to your calls. I would love to go calls the rest of the show. Means I have to argue less with my cohort. It was great to see Sarah and the kids and him yesterday.
Had a great time yesterday.
And Vonnie Holiday, who I wish I would have gotten
argue. We didn't really even argue. It was more of...
At one point, I called you a dink. We definitely argued.
Yeah, but that happens. I don't take that personal. I just... Again, my point was what Jordan said there, almost verbatim. How they went about their business after that was what we were looking for. And I love that. So, let's get to calls.
Nervous energy. It's back. NLCS.
I don't have any nervous energy. I'm not nervous. What am I nervous about?
Let's start with a little bit of a Brewers call first from Ron in Rome, because when in Rome, good morning. How are you, Ron?
Good. Yeah, I called about the Brewers, but I just want to make a quick point about your interception discussion. I understand what Tausch is saying, that it was good to see that after he made a mistake that he didn't climb into a shell and that he was still able to capitalize on big game opportunities and not letting the interception, live in his head there. So that, besides that, the reason I called mainly was I'm super happy about the Brewers. I'm happy that we won a playoff series, so I don't have to listen to all my friends back east saying, yeah, the Brewers are good, but they're going to lose in the playoffs, so that's done. But I was disappointed to see the L flag. I think that is bad sportsmanship. I'm an old guy. We were taught in high school to be good sports. Celebrate your butt off. Be super happy where you're at. But, don't be low class and kick the other team when they're down.
I thought
Ron,
the same
I got a question.
Thing.
Quick question for you, Ron.
Sure. Go ahead.
I didn't see that, but what did you think of, is it different in person compared to social media? Because the Brewers' social media page, that beautiful bean down off of Lake Michigan, they plastered that with an L flag. Were you all right with that, or did you like none of it?
Well, I think that is the problem in today's world. When I was young, we did all stupid things, many stupid things. Some of them were felonies. But we didn't get caught, and that was the end of it. Now it's all on the Internet, and, it's there for the whole world to see forever, so you have to be a little more careful.
I agree with everything you said. I was reading something from, I think, Adam McKelvey that no one wanted to actually be the one holding the flag in that team picture, and then Trevor McGill said, I'll do it. And he proudly
He got
held
cut
it
by
up.
the Cubs in 2021.
Correct. And I think that was probably factoring into his decision there.
Does anyone else kind of want to know what Ron's felonies might have been?
No.
Anyone else intrigued?
No, we don't.
I don't want him to say them. But aren't you a little intrigued what that may have been?
Do you remember what happened the last time you asked a caller about a follow-up question?
I do.
To something
That's
bad
why I
that
said,
happened?
Jesse, that's why I said I didn't want to hear it, but aren't you a little intrigued is what I asked. So.
All right.
Jesse, you're younger. Jason and I and Ron are a little older. Did you have a problem with him hanging the L flag?
Not one bit. I loved every second of it. What stood out to me from the weekend is that seeing the Cubs fans, whether it was where I was watching the game at a wedding in Chicago or across social media, the complaints about how the Brewers were celebrating. This thing is a full-on acknowledged rivalry now from the Chicago Cubs end of it.
No doubt.
And that makes me very happy.
I do like the hang up the phone celebration. I'm with Ron. I didn't love holding the flag up in the team photo, but I love because again, that is built on something that Counsell did. Like before a home run, I believe even landed, he had already gone to the phones to the bullpen. So I do like that. We saw Uribe do it after the final out. We obviously know Contreras did it on the home run. I'm fine with that. Team picture with the L flag, I didn't like it as much. But again, I'm old like Ron.
I'm going to tell you this: if they have any thoughts of who they beat, you know what? I can't remember who'd we beat in that NLDS back in 2025. The L flag is there. Oh, it was the Cubs. No.
Oh, so it'll be helpful for when they're older and it'll be a reminder.
Yeah, they lose their memory
defeated.
A little bit.
Yeah, sure. Jog their memory. I got it. Yeah, sure.
It's a stretch, but I'll take it.
I am very curious. We probably won't have time to discuss it with Jesse, but I am curious at that wedding how exactly he consumed the game on the baby phone, or he just left the wedding entirely to the bar in some other area of the facility to watch it.
He has not let that Miller Lite Bob Uecker thing go, has he? He is constantly
it's a constant acknowledgement by him that he really
can't just
screwed
move
that
on
up, and it really bothered
crack
him
open a beer and say,
critiqued.
"Congrats, Brewers." He's all in on rectifying that scenario.
If we have time, I'll tell you later about it. I will say this: consuming the game at a wedding, not ideal. Celebrating the victory at a wedding, very
awesome,
ideal.
Indeed.
I saw Mumford and Sons had a big show at Fiserv, and some people were at the tailgate yesterday that were at that concert, and they said it was raucous. Whoever Mumford is did a big thing that the Brewers won, and everybody went just completely crazy at Fiserv. And this team has captured a lot of hearts. We do know that.
And they had a lot of good vibes going thanks to Mark Tauscher and UW Credit Union.
Yes, indeed, for every stage of life. UW Credit Union is here for every you, proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They'll help you reach your financial goals. You know what? Why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, I wanted to keep my banking local. I love their member first service, and they have great perks like early payday. But, Bucky, how do you say it? And I'll tell you what, the Badger game stunk on Saturday, but you know what was awesome? That T-shirt cannon, just on point this weekend. Absolutely just firing seeds out at the student section. It was beautiful. You know what? I love Wisconsin.
Got one that was
you know
there.
I love the state.
That was good.
That was pretty funny, Jesse. You want to finish my read since you jumped in mid-show? If you love Wisconsin like I do, you can't pay with anything else. Fan will make you do crazy things. This makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
We'll discuss less Marcus Mumford. I don't know who the other two guys are in the band. I just know him.
The Sons, I assume.
They're sons.
I don't think they're his children. Just a guess.
You think they spell it UNS?
No,
S-U-N-S?
I definitely. More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. the best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino, Tony Wendorf and Associates, and Smart 18 Union on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Hi, it's Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch, inviting you to join me July 5th on a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. We'll take in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. Imagine standing before Big Ben in London, then later gazing out from Edinburgh Castle. So rich in history, it feels like you're stepping back in time. Along the way, we'll explore the storybook villages of Chester and Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon, places where every street seems to whisper a piece of history. And how about a scenic train ride through the rolling green hills that lead us right into the medieval city of York? It's all part of this incredible journey. From iconic landmarks to cozy villages, from bustling city streets to peaceful countryside views, you'll experience the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty, and create memories that last a lifetime. To learn more about this amazing adventure, text TRAVEL to 800-990-3776 or visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com for full details.
Wisconsin Harley-Davidson's filling up your fall calendar. Join them Sunday, October 19th for the Freedom 150 ride, celebrating 150 years of Economowalk and the U.S. Paralympic Wheelchair Curling Team. The ride starts at the dealership with stops at Open Road and West Bend Harley-Davidson, ending at Rally Point for a concert. And don't miss the early Halloween celebration, Saturday, October 25th at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and at WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Thanks to Pipe Jim for sending me a story on why the band is called Mumford & Sons, but we don't have time to delve into that.
Are they sons or not?
They are not sons. They all met in London, apparently. Let's get back to your calls. A lot of Packers-related calls and a lot of people waiting. So let's begin, even though the 10 o'clock hour just started 5 minutes ago, with Jeff in Milwaukee. Jeff, good morning. Thanks for holding. What do you got for us, buddy?
Okay, so my positives
I thought Jordan Love played a fabulous game. I thought
Thank God he threw that interception to really set himself up to play well.
Yeah, let me get to that if I could. I thought the interception that he threw was awful, and he knows it was awful. I think he makes the other throws in the game regardless of that interception. So, Tausch, sorry, I just don't agree with you.
It's all right.
That was an awful throw.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's good. It was a bad throw. Nobody's arguing that, Jeff.
Yeah, okay. The other thing that was my positive was Golden, and it wasn't just because he played well. If you listen to the press conference when Jordan was interviewed, Jordan made a really, it wasn't just his throw that was great on that play. He made a decision early to get out of the pocket, and that's growth right there. I mean, that he knew that he needed to kind of get out of the pocket early. And what he said is when Golden saw that he was leaving the pocket, he cut the angle of his route. That's a pretty impressive thing for a rookie to know what to do in that situation after 5 games. So I think that was really, really awesome. I think Love's footwork basically saved the offensive line in pass protection several times in that game. And so now I got to get to our weaknesses. Our offensive line's pass protection was not good. Our defensive line is not getting pressure on the quarterback. And the reason is twofold. The Packers have to prepare for something, and that is this. Teams are now just going to go to short passing game against them to offset the pass rush. So Hafley's going to have to figure out how to counteract that, but that's exactly what they're going to do. And my negative, again, I know you guys are going to be tired of it, LaFleur made another strategic blunder in that game, and I don't want to hear about how good the timeout was before for the field goal. At the end of the game, when it's close, what is he doing passing on 3rd and 2? The one thing you want to do is keep that clock going so you make Cincinnati burn their last timeout. If he makes that same mistake against a good team and things don't fall the way they should, the Packers lose. He continually, and this is my point, I know you guys know this, in close games or in games where a crucial decision needs to be made, and I hope he's able to change my opinion, he proves to be a liability. Look what Zach Taylor did at the end of the first half. He figured, people say, well, how could they play so well in the second half? Zach Taylor adapted to what he was seeing. I just don't see that in-game intelligence from LaFleur, and I hope I'm able to say, God, he's figured it out later. But those are my thoughts, and thank you guys for having the show. It's great.
Thanks, Jeff. We appreciate you. There was a lot there.
We do want to give LaFleur credit, Jason, right, for calling the timeout. Otherwise, it's 3 points. And I know it's not like – I know you weren't splitting an atom by calling that timeout, but it does matter. It does.
It does. I personally don't like that rule. I don't know about you.
Which one?
Like,
you shouldn't
Mason,
let him kick.
Right.
They shouldn't let him kick it.
If it gets to the point that the ball is kicked, the kick should count.
Too late.
Yeah.
I actually agree.
But it didn't, and that was great because a 67-yard field goal, which
what a ricochet
hit off the crossbar and over, did not count, and he did not have enough leg the second time around. The most interesting thing that Jeff said, and I couldn't agree with him more, I'm working on my story about it for today. I thought Matthew Golden, I don't want to say grew up because he kind of has that mature beyond his years thing that like Randall Cobb had and Greg Jennings had, but
he has even killed his Dobbs, though.
No, no.
Nobody is. Okay.
Well,
I just wanted to make sure.
Again, even keeled may have been a euphemism at the time, and that maybe changed over time.
The old euphemism bit. Oh, put that down, Jesse. Next time I say something completely wrong, I'm going to just say, well, it was a euphemism.
No, you won't.
Yeah, we're both going to holster this one for when we need it.
Yep.
Yeah, the old euphemism bit. That's a good one.
If I may.
Oh, that trivia answer's incorrect? Oh, sorry, it was a euphemism.
I don't think you know what
it's a fun word to spell. I'm going to tell you that. All right, you may, Jason. Go ahead.
I thought what Matthew Golden did yesterday, as Jeff pointed out, was he grew up. I mean, he showed that awesome. He talk about learning from mistakes. He didn't learn from a mistake. He learned from experience, not making a mistake necessarily, but how to adjust when the quarterback is. Matthew Golden is a 21-year-old rookie. Jordan Love is in his 6th NFL season. It was a big step forward for him, and it wasn't just because he caught 3 balls for 86 yards. But to Jeff's point, that last play, that they
does he remind you? I got a text from I don't remember who texted me yesterday. He's got a lot of Greg Jennings in him, doesn't he? Am I crazy?
No, I understand that you don't like my comparisons. Tucker Kraft.
Who did you compare him to?
I compared him to Greg Jennings, I don't know, maybe 4 months ago. Yeah.
You compared Golden to Greg? I legit forgot that.
He glides. I would always talk about how they both glide. Yeah, and Greg Jennings was in the house yesterday. You didn't take a picture with him though. I was disappointed.
I didn't see Greg at all. I got to see James Jones. I got to see Earl Dotson. Got to see Vonnie, Santana. There's a good crew, but Big Whit. But I forgot that you made that comp. He is a lot like Greg. A lot like Greg.
But nobody is like David Gruber and Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. That's the number to call if you've been injured. Hopefully you never are, but if you are, that's the call to make. There's a lot of imitators. They all want to be just like him. But David's been doing it with him and his team for over 40 years now, making sure Wisconsinites get what they deserve when they've been injured. So make the call or go to the website, gruber-law.com. The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
The Brewers are headed to the National League Championship Series. The Crew took down the Cubs by a score of 3-1 in Game 5 of the NLDS at American Family Field to advance to the NLCS for the first time since 2018. Here's Brewers manager Pat Murphy after the win.
We find ways to win, like sometimes we win with little ball, they say, sometimes we pitch great, sometimes we take advantage of the ball strike and get a bunch of base runners, sometimes we hit homers. Yeah, it's really fun to be able to win in different ways, but I'm telling you, the group believes.
The Brewers will take on the Dodgers in Game 1 tonight at American Family Field.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Hey, go Pack, go!
This is no place I've ever been. They've been doubted all year. Everyone.
Fly ball left center. Crow Armstrong is on the move. He's running out of room. It's gone!
William Contreras gives the Brewers a 1-0 lead on his second home run of the series.
The pitch, Shanna, drive out to left. It is back. Happ at the track at the wall. Bye, baseball. Long live Andrew Vaughn. Here's the pitch, and Terang, a fly ball to center. Crow Armstrong's back at the track. It is gone.
Laying in the ground to short. Picking it up, Ortiz over to first. Ball game. And the Brewers advance to the NLCS.
Jacob Mizorowski, unreal. I mean, this is all I could ever ask for. It's awesome.
That's as low as it can be.
Oh, my goodness! Right to Graves' belly!
Eric, he's 6'5", 295 pounds. How could you not see him?
This is not acceptable. It doesn't matter who's coaching the team right now, man.
Last two games in the series, Iowa has won by a combined score of 79-10.
I'm crushed, disappointed in myself, in our team, but we got one thing to do, and we got to keep swinging.
It's off to the tight end, Kraft. Galloping inside, touchdown!
The Packers won this game because of Jordan Love.
That was one of the better games that he's played for us. I thought he played his ass off.
And Jacobs, look at right down the middle. Touchdown for the second time today.
We have now a 3-week sample where we are 1-1-1. You can't be more meh than 1-1-1.
This is a really emotional time right now.
Big guns in the building. Big juice, man. Let's go!
Touchdown!
To win this series the way we did, I'm just grateful.
And the Brewers are going to the championship series.
Step one is making sure that we find the guys that are going to compete.
The bottom line is you got to find a way to win the game.
We find ways to win, you know.
You ready for the Dodgers? Of course, we're always ready.
One brief question for Johnny Montage as we start the 10 o'clock hour. Is that the first in your long history of montages that the first person's voice we hear is yours? And is that IPT?
Yes.
I got jealous of Hunter getting a self-graph the other day, so I thought.
By the way,
how can I?
We probably have to have a conversation about him and his doom and gloom that he delivered the last time we spoke with him, and then what the Brewers did in response. I'm sure.
Is he banned?
He's not banned. If we're not going to ban Jesse for calling for the manager's job, we're not banning Hunter.
I feel like it's like a not even a suspension. We let that go.
Did we punish Jesse other than teasing him?
I don't remember.
Oh, I've been punished plenty for asking the question at Pablo's birthday bash.
Well, the problem is we can't punish you by making you suspending you from the show, because then you just get more days off.
Yeah,
so
then you get Hunter in here, and then
he actually wins. Yeah.
So, all right, let's get back to the calls. No, we're not banning Hunter, but he does need.
By the way, did you see?
He made a mistake
Murph?
like Jordan Love on that interception, and he needs to learn from it.
Yeah, he's got to grow from it. Did you see Murph? There is a big contingent of Japanese media at AmFam Field, and he had all the crew get up and introduce themselves like Jesse had to, and it was awesome. Like, if you haven't seen that video, it's fantastic.
He has not changed despite the tremendous amount of media members who are now in the auditorium for every one of his press conferences in the postseason.
Let's get back to your calls. 844-770-3776.
Man, you don't like when they do that?
Huh?
No comment on that?
I muted you because you were
that
sneezing, and then he started giving a take mid-sneeze.
I pulled the mic away. I sneezed, yeah.
The Badgers lose to Iowa 37-0. Have now been outscored 79-10 in their last two meetings. I can't wait to see Christian Welch in the locker room.
I got some text on that Badger game anytime you want to get to them.
The Brewers advance to the NLCS. Game 1 tonight at AmFam Field. 7-something first pitch, Jesse?
7:08.
And who are the probable starters?
The Brewers have not announced who their opener will be, but then Priester or Quintana is what Pat Murphy said yesterday.
I'll tell you what I'm nervous about. Our best is struggling. I'm not sure how much you can lean on Ashby at this point. He was so good throughout the year. He didn't have it in the Cubbies series. Now, maybe he can re-find it and recapture it. He's such a critical piece to what we do, and he didn't have it. Do you feel good if Murph puts him out there? I'm asking. I don't know.
And the Packers beat the Bengals at Lambeau Field 27-18. I want to get to calls. I don't want to have a discussion.
I understand, but I literally asked the question.
Ashby.
Y'all are like, I don't know. Who's Ashby?
Okay. Let's go down to Deerfield Beach, Florida, and talk to Nick about the Packers. See, I was setting up Packers. I was going to go to the Packers last because that's what all the calls are for. Nick, good morning. Thanks for holding. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch.
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Victory Monday. How are you guys?
We're great.
Morning. Awesome.
How are you?
Good. Just enjoying my day off from work today for Columbus Day, but kind of I'm getting a little impatient with the D-line. I want to see more sacks with our elite talent like Coop, Micah, Wyatt, and Rashawn. And look how much we're paying Rashawn and Micah combined. So I don't know if I'm being unreasonable or not. I mean, I know the opposing offenses have been throwing those quick passes and the checkdowns to combat our pass rush, but I still think we should be getting a lot more pressure on the QB, which could lead to some takeaways. So, I mean, 4 sacks in the last 3 games. Well, really 3 because I don't know if we count that one on Dak. But what do you guys think? Am I being unreasonable? So, no, thank you for taking my call, guys.
Great. We appreciate the call, Nick. Thank you. You're not being unreasonable at all. No, I would agree.
I was the thing I was most disappointed in yesterday, that was it. And it was the second half. The first half, I really think Zach Taylor was like, all right, we have to get the ball out of our hands quickly. You know, the old Charlie check down. It was Chucky check down most of that first half. And I think they said, you know, we ain't going to do it. We obviously can't do anything doing that. What did you say, Jason? 60-some yards in the first half?
65 yards, yep, in the first half.
Great number, 65 yards. And you realize that wasn't going to work. And, oh, by the way,
love Aaron
Jamar
Banks.
Chase and T. Higgins are out there. Probably an idea. Throw them the blanket ball. So there were opportunities in the second half. And I was I was disappointed in our group and surprised that their O-line held up the way it did. Now, Flacco, to his credit, he does get rid of the football. He doesn't want to take – he is an old, savvy vet. And I think it got to the point where when he felt it, he's like, all right, where's one? I'm throwing it over there. He's going to make something happen. And he got PIs. He got – obviously Jamar won some good battles with both Keyshawn and Valentine. So I give them credit, but I expected more from that group. And this is what I said yesterday, and I think it's I think sometimes we have blind spots. And what has been the biggest correlation to why this defense has not been the dominant group? I think they dominated the first 3 games. Dominated. That's when I got Crown City-ish, and I was like, oh, let's crown these guys as, hey, if they continue with this, we could start talking about this group in this way. Well, then Devontae Wyatt gets hurt, and it has not been the same. And I poo-pooed it a little bit in the Cowboy game. 5 out of 6 drives, touchdowns when he's out of it. I shouldn't have poo-pooed it. It's obviously hearing Jeff Hafley talk about Devontae and the impact he has. He is a huge cog. Cullen Jenkins was also at the game yesterday, Jason. Cullen Jenkins was a monster difference maker for our team and for that D-line. Devontae Wyatt is, and we have poo-pooed it because of the Micah and Rashad. Oh, we have plenty of other guys to do it. We haven't. And that loss showed up in the second half yesterday, just like it did in the Dallas game, and I don't think we found a way to replace it. And I have to say, I've had a blind spot to that. I just have poo-pooed it. And I think when you start talking about this defense, they're not whole until 95 is back out there disrupting things.
I think they definitely miss him. I'm not saying they don't at all, because I agree. And when Jeff Hafley says he's not having a good season, he's having a great season, and talks about the pocket pushing that he does that obviously puts the quarterback in a more vulnerable position for their edge rushers. I think he's right about that. I don't think it's, if we're ranking the reasons why the defense is not playing at the elite level that it was at for the first 3 games, I think if it's like Family Feud style, it's in the top 3 answers that are on the board. But I think one of the reasons is teams are looking at the pass rush and looking at Micah Parsons and saying, look, we cannot dink around here. We have to get the ball out quickly. That doesn't mean Charlie check down. That means designed plays to get the ball out right away. Not, oh, there's a little bit of pressure, now I check it down. It's get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly because we're going to get killed. And then the other thing is their failure to take the ball away. And that's on all the levels.
Do you think because there were, and I don't remember which game it was, I think it was Cleveland, but then there was also some Washington where we were commenting on how the Parsons effect was helping the DBs, where they could sit on routes because of what you just said. And it felt like, well, you think it was just that they were afraid of Jamar and T over the top, and they sat back and gave more space on some of those, really kind of easy pitch and catches on the sideline? Because yesterday was the first time that you're really starting to hear people get after the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little bit in the Cowboys' second half, obviously, but yesterday was the first time, callers would call into our postgame show and say, well, we don't have an elite corner. We don't da-da-da-da-da-da. And I just wonder, did Jeff Hafley say keep everything in front of you because there was a lead, or because they were afraid of Jamar and T going over the top?
Yeah, yes. I think it's probably both, right? Like, I think if we're looking, the situation is part of it. But yeah, I had someone say, are they adopting the Joe Barry 3rd and 5, play 9 yards off the line of scrimmage approach? Like, I'm not sure if I've seen that prevalently to start making that comp. But look, they don't have an elite corner. I think Keyshawn Nixon is better than he gets credit for. I'm not ready to say that he's, in the upper echelon of corners. He had a great game against, Washington? But he never matched up with Terry McLaurin in that game either, if you want to point that out. Like, they play a bunch of zone coverage. Their guys stay on their sides. They don't have a guy like Patrick Surtain who's traveling with Garrett Wilson all day yesterday like that. They just operate differently. So when you have pressure, their secondary is plenty good enough. Yep. When you don't have pressure, then you start to get into a position where you don't feel as good about that group. I would like to take one more call, and then we'll get to more calls after the break. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. I know Mike in Texas has been holding on for a very long time. So, Mike, good morning. Thanks for holding. What do you think?
Good morning. Thanks. Well, first of all, this was a good win. It wasn't a spectacular, exhilarating win. But I think a lot of people were frustrated. Like, for one thing, in the third quarter when the Bengals had the ball for 10 minutes, driving down the field, that was just, it's hard to comprehend. Like, how can a team allow this to happen? And the thing about mistakes, a lot of chatter in YouTube comments, I think the thing about the mistakes with Love is they just seem to be so bad. They're not like, hey, he made a mistake. Quarterbacks, great quarterbacks make mistakes, but they're just, when they hold the ball and he gets sacked or fumble and interceptions, you're just like, how could you do that? I think that's and it's becoming regular. It's becoming common. I think that's where it's fueling. Why does this keep happening? And they're just so bad. Mistakes are bad.
Yeah, again, they've played 5 games. I would argue he's had 4 bad moments. The pick in Cleveland, the fumble at the end of the half in Dallas, the putzing around in the final seconds of overtime, and the interception yesterday. I would argue that the first 3, there is some culpability for his head coach in all 3 of them. Run the ball on the interception, not be aggressive the way you were unrealistically, in my opinion, in Dallas, and make sure that everyone, including the quarterback, is on the same page to get their asses up to the line of scrimmage so they don't run out of time in overtime. Yesterday, I'm sorry, you're not going to convince me that that wasn't just a bad play by a guy who otherwise had a magnificent day. You're just not. Sorry. But that's okay, because they don't need him to be perfect for all 61 plays when he plays the rest of the way he did in the other 60. He was really, really, really good. Now, if that happens in a playoff game, like it did when you have the ball in your hand in your first year as the starter, and on first down, you have the ball and have a chance to go in and win the game in San Francisco, and you throw late over the middle into triple coverage, off balance across your body. Now, you want to talk about an interception that you learned from? There's no doubt he learned from that, because that haunted him the entire offseason. Did the throw yesterday look a little bit like that? I mean, he was off balance and throwing as he was falling down, but it wasn't anywhere near the same stakes or the same point in the game. It was a bad play. And then he didn't make any more bad plays the rest of the day. And that's one of the reasons why they won the game yesterday. All right, I want to get some more of your calls. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Although I would say he didn't need to make that bad play in order to make the good plays later in the game. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This.
Kyle Bruston Nortman.
This is Matt LaFleur after the game. If I knew it was going to end like that, we would have gone faster. That dude,
KBN.
That drove me crazy. Listen, anybody, make sure y'all listen to his presser at the end of the game, and you will walk away saying, this is a man that does not know who the heck he is.
Kyle Bruston Nortman. Afternoons from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey, it's your friend John McGivern. In a world full of chaos, I'm grateful for a health plan that has my back. Network Health is so reliable and trustworthy, they always put me and over 126,000 members first. It's just what they do and what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Zero restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and football season is here. Are you ready to make some money? My Week 0 plays were absolutely on fire. 13-2 across all sports during Saturday of Week 0. Now it's Week 1 of the college football season. Are you ready to make money? Go to FatJackSports.com. It's less than $100 a week to turn a profit betting the games. All the games are documented, they're posted, and you'll get a recommended betting guide that will help you make money betting on sports this week. FatJackSports.com. Sign up today and win this weekend.
No matter what we were doing, the Brewer game was always on. Kind of the background of my childhood. I wore number 17.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that. That was my number.
Yep. This is my friend Jim Gantner. Jim was always my favorite player. We did Jim's roof up in Eden.
Right. The great job he does on homes. Most important is honesty, integrity, and doing a great job.
See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Kyle Bruston Northman, KBN.
The results speak for themselves, and either you're going to jump on board or you're going to find out why they are who they are.
On 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Victory Monday is brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. With delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian, Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer.
Before we get to more of your calls, a highly esteemed Wisconsin State Journal sports columnist alumnus emeritus.
Oh, I think I know who this might be.
Could be anyone.
One of my favorites.
Texts in on the private talk and text line, and I'd been meaning to ask you about this in your discussion of valuable lessons being learned by quarterbacks in their 6th NFL season. How come no one is talking about Love sliding 2 yards short of what would have been a game-ending first down?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He didn't make that mistake earlier in the game, so he couldn't learn from it. So now he's learned. Hopefully the next time this happens. Yeah, that was a mistake, no doubt about it. And I think this is always you continue to put yourself in different situations, and you hope that you have all the answers. You always won't. You're constantly he's been on the move a lot. We love that. He's made plays with his feet. That was a mistake, and I think that's from whoever that is. I think I know who you're speaking of. I think it's a very fair point. Very fair.
844-770-3776. Yeah, we never stop learning. I think that's the most important thing. Let's go to Chris in Muskego.
You should have all the answers immediately.
I'm just curious when mistakes stop being learning experiences and just that it was a mistake, he shouldn't have done it. I'm curious when we get to that point. Let me know.
Every mistake is a learning experience. Yeah.
These situations it matters when it happens too. Like, you don't get grace when it becomes postseason football or end of the year football or fourth quarter football. There is a difference, as we've seen. So there's different levels of grace that goes into this whole deal. I gave a lot of grace because of how it worked itself out. Results matter. They do.
Okay. All right, so we'll save this clip from 10:39 a.m. on Monday, October 13th, 2025, year of our Lord. And if they don't advance to the NFC Championship game or to the Super Bowl because of a mistake made by the quarterback, and I'm not saying that will be the result. I'm saying if that happens, I want to make sure that we are not giving him as much grace as we're giving him now because results matter. Okay, we're all on the same page?
I didn't give any grace in the Niner game. I didn't give any grace in the Eagle game last year.
In the
I didn't
Niner
give any grace
game
in the Browns
would have been
game.
the time to give him grace. He's a first-year starter under the greatest amount of pressure he's ever been under.
No, he throttled the Cowboys. No. I mean, I gave him – there was some experiential stuff, yeah. But you got. I was so disappointed where everybody else was like, "Oh, house money and all this other stuff." There's house money, and then all of a sudden you got all the chips in your pocket, and you decide, "Well, I'm going to throw it back out there." No, you had it, and that's what you just don't know when you get back there, and those are the ones that gut you. And I'm sure that's why that sticks in his craw the way it does.
Let's go to Jesse's hometown of Muskego.
How's the football team doing down there in Muskego?
Looking good. Chance to get back to Camp Randall this year, no doubt.
The SEC of Wisconsin down there.
Classic
That's what
eight.
they say.
Yeah, big finale with McGuanago to close out the season coming up here.
It's always a rivalry. I saw the best high school football game I think I've ever seen on Friday night between Bayport and West De Pere.
Were you hiding under the picnic
No, it was
table
on
again?
television. I was at home. Yeah, no, I didn't go. I had some buddies that were there, but I didn't go.
Riley and Dennis had a heck of a call. Milton and Sun Prairie East. Milton with an onside kick came back and won the game in the fourth quarter. It was a fun one, too, that we had.
Yeah, we got robbed on that. There was a first onside kick we recovered, and then all of a sudden they blew the whistle. Oh, we don't know. That doesn't count. Why didn't it count? Somebody explain that to me. I didn't catch that, Dennis. Riles, why didn't that count? All right, continue. We got robbed in that one.
I'll tell you about that fantastic finish between West De Pere and Bayport another time. Let's go to Chris in Muskego. Chris, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, but no more taking ghost Texan messages in because he stole my thunder.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was a bonehead play. That was a bonehead play of a guy who has no clock awareness by Love. Loves my quarterback. I support him 100%. But this stuff where he keeps saying they got to clean things up, they got to get – well, if you keep making bonehead mistakes during the season, you're going to make them same bonehead mistakes in the playoffs. That pass in the first quarter was a bonehead mistake. He didn't learn from the past. Coming down into the end of the fourth quarter, into the 2-minute warning, all he had to do was go out of bounds. Either way, the 2-minute warning would have stopped the clock. He wasn't aware of what was going on with the clock, because otherwise he went to the knee and tried to stop the clock. Then you go into the 2-minute warning, and they got a timeout, and LaFleur calls his play. Then they come out of 2-minute warning. Maybe LaFleur didn't like how the defense is set up, so he calls a timeout. And if that's the play, you come out with a timeout when you want to run the clock, you want to kick a field goal, and you scramble your quarterback to throw the ball, and then he throws it once again up in the air. If that defensive back does not fall on his butt, that's a pick six, and we got a tied ball game on a bogus call of throwing the ball once again on 3rd and 2. I do not trust LaFleur like the other caller, 3 callers ahead of me said. I do not trust LaFleur when it comes to crunch time. He's scared. He doesn't know what he's doing. He calls bonehead plays. Everybody behind their television saying, run the ball, keep it in between the lines, get the field goal, get the points. And what do? We come up with bonehead pass plays on short yardage downs when the time is running down. And that, to me, is like, we're going to clean this up. We're going to learn from this. The problem is they haven't learned in 3 years on how to manage game time situations or when it's crunch time to put teams away, to come up with bonehead plays instead of what anybody knows. You're short. You want to keep the clocks running down. You want them to either waste their last timeout or they don't have any timeouts left. If you throw that pass and it's incomplete like it was, what does that do? It stops the clock. You don't want the clock to stop. You want it to keep on ticking. So I just don't trust LaFleur. I believe in Jordan as our quarterback, but he's got to learn. If he doesn't start learning, I'm telling you, what his bonehead plays he makes today, he's going to keep on making it in the playoffs if he doesn't learn from them, and he hasn't learned from them yet.
Thanks for the call, Chris. We appreciate you. That is also an unofficial, we'll have to check with 565 Analytics, but I think that is a Wilde and Tausch record for number of times the word bonehead was used in one call.
We don't need to check. That's a record.
New league record.
Does LaFleur run the ball there if McManus is healthy and kicking?
No, this is the same discussion, slightly different, but roughly the same discussion as the discussion after the Cleveland game. Right? He wants to go win the game. He doesn't want to run the ball.
Yeah, but a field goal puts you up 9, you win the game.
Correct. And they're at the – remember, the 3rd and 2 play is at the 2-minute warning. Love's pass is incomplete to Golden. It ran 4 seconds off the clock. The Bengals are now out of timeouts. You kick the field goal. It's only a 39-yard field goal. You would like to believe that Lucas Havrisick, even after searching for substitute teaching gigs in the greater Cleveland Metroplex, is a professional kicker, and he will make that kick, and he did. Matt LaFleur also said there was never any consideration of going for it on 4th and 2, which, no, my personal opinion, I was a little surprised by the question, because you kick the field goal, you're up 9, it's a 2-score game.
Dan
you go
Campbell
for it.
went for it last year.
Yeah, Dan Campbell is different, bro. There's no two ways about it.
I know, bro.
I respect it.
Well,
I know, Edinburgh.
Also, the kicker isn't the only thing we've had to worry about on field goal attempts in the last couple of weeks.
Not no more. They're putting all their starting offensive linemen in there.
Yeah, they did. They
all
did
6 of them.
So here's the deal, and this is what I don't understand. And I think Matt LaFleur, I know old boy was very hard on Matt LaFleur there, and there's a lot of Packer fans that don't trust Matt LaFleur. There's a lot of things to really like about Matt, but there are some things, and it's just understanding what you need to do. You don't always need to be ultra aggressive. The Cleveland game, you didn't. I was incredibly critical because you win the game if you just run the ball there, you're winning the game. I understand you want to finish with the ball in your hand and don't give the other team. Yeah. If it's Pat Mahomes, if it's Joe Burrow, if it's Josh Allen, if it's Joe Flacco, now you could say, well, Homer said they win the game if we don't make that field goal. I'm not sure I agree with that, but I'll say this. First half, I would have said no chance. Second half, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't have been concerned. But you have a 35, run the ball, force them to use the timeout, and don't get up by 9 points. You're winning the game. Period, Finn. Sometimes you don't need to be the most aggressive and I'm going to out Dan Campbell this or I'm going to do that. Be who you are, understand your football team, and know what you need to do to win. And a field goal yesterday to go up 9 won the game. Period, end. And you ended up doing things that gave Cincinnati more opportunities to go down and get something. Now, if you missed that field goal, oh, God. Oh, boy. The conversation's all day. And you lose 25-24 today? Oh, boy. So that's the beauty of coaching. And stick with what you do. And it seems as if Matt LaFleur has, and sometimes it doesn't work. Yesterday, there was a couple of those.
We'll get to more of your calls and some of your texts coming up after Tausch tells us about Prize Picks. It's good to
Jesse,
be right, or as Strofe said yesterday, it's right to be good.
It's right to be good also. Yeah, sure.
That's what he said he was doing his Prize Picks read.
I don't understand it's right.
He said it's right to be good.
If you took less on the McManus-McPherson combo of 3.5 made field goals that was on the board on Friday, you're a winner.
Because McManus made none.
McManus didn't play. McPherson made 2, I think, yesterday. So definitely wasn't 4. So if you listen to us there, nicely done. It's good to be right.
Golden more.
Over or under?
Jordan Love rushing more. I don't know passing what he ended up with, 219.
259.
That would have been less.
259. That had to be more.
No, I think
it was less.
290 was, I think, what it was.
Yeah, I got that one right.
At.
Boom.
They had 290?
I forgot what we did.
We should have went less on that. But Prize Picks is the best way to cash in, watching your favorite teams. And right now, everything's going. Got Brewers. You got NHL. I think the NBA is tipping off this week or early next week. And, of course, the NFL. Prize Picks is simple to play. Pick more or less. Golden more. Kicking less. Jordan Love, I believe more was the correct answer yesterday, but the beautiful part is you have your opinions and you can cash in on them. If you want flexibility, choose Flex Play, where you get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go to Power Play. No matter how you play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Prize Picks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick, easy deposits into your account throughout the football season. Join millions of users. Sign up for America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Oh, it's good
to be right.
It was 240.5 for Jordan Love passing yards.
More was right.
Yeah,
more was right.
We had more on the passing yards, more on Jacobs rushing yards, more on Golden receiving yards, and more on Jamar Chase receptions. Everything was more except for the kicking. Good day.
We should listen to us, or you listen to Jesse and I on Friday. Big dubs for you on Prize Picks. Big dubs.
We should talk more about Josh Jacobs and more about the Packers' offensive line performance, including the level of pain, which was a lot more than even he was expecting that Zach Tom was feeling after the game. That's all still ahead, along with more of your calls and texts. Wilde and Tausch.
Victory Monday is brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. With delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian, Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer.
At Great Midwest Bank, we've been serving Southeast Wisconsin homeowners for 90 years. Wait, 2025 minus 1935, 90 years. Wow. In our 90 years as a community bank, we've learned a lot about the values of the people who live and work here and appreciate the loyal customers that have made Great Midwest Bank who we are today. Find a location at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Courtney Cronin.
You lose the locker room when you lose games in dumb fashion, when you can't get the ball into the landing zone on a kick like they did on that Thursday night game the week before against Seattle, when this prevents you from going up 28-6 in the fourth quarter and you let the door open for Tennessee to come back and win that game. That's how you lose the locker room, not based on a very normal and human reaction from Jonathan Gannon here. And I'm not condoning violence, anybody striking a player, but let's be real. He didn't punch him. He looked like, from the fan video, Canty saw the same fan video that you and I have seen. There is one that is out there. Slaps him in those chest pads and looks like he's saying, come on. I'm surprised nobody else did that on the sideline. And maybe they did. Maybe nobody else had their camera out to capture the moment.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Are you sick and tired of sad, skimpy, frozen pizzas that lack toppings and flavor? Problem solved. Screamin' Sicilian brings the party to pizza with mountains of whole milk mozzarella, premium meats, and veggies stacked to the sky. No tweaks necessary. Just tons of toppings and amazing flavor. Just bake it, bite it, and let it rip. Mamma mia! Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian. Toppings piled high, screaming loud, always delicious.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some breaking news from the National Football League. Announcing his retirement. Must not have been getting enough playing time.
Flacco?
Zadarius Smith.
Oh.
Zadarius Smith calling it a career with the Eagles. We're having a tough go of it at the moment. All right, let's get one call in here.
You all right with guys retiring mid-season?
I don't have a super high opinion of him, so I'm just going to say let's take a call.
I would say depending on the circumstances, like if you're injured and you're like, yeah, I'm not going to work my way back, I'm going to call it. That's one thing. But if you're just like,
sure,
nah, I'm done. Like that's a little.
And maybe there is more. There's always more to the story, right? So, well,
not always.
There's also Antetokounmpo, another Antetokounmpo brother with the Bucks, 2-way contract. I just saw Shams when he's not too busy reporting that Giannis wants to leave all the time. We got a third Antetokounmpo brother with the Bucks, which is fantastic.
Mark Antetokounmpo?
I don't know, Jesse. You'll have to look that up. I just saw it and it went away on my timeline. So, but.
It went away.
3 Antetokounmpos. Yeah, bye-bye.
Let's take a call. Let's talk to Jason, Chef Jason.
Alex Antetokounmpo joining the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, Alex.
In Hale's Corners. And he's not going to talk Packers.
Okay.
He wants to talk about the Badgers. And he wants to talk about the Brewers. Woo!
Okay. Yeah.
Jace, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I called about 2 weeks ago.
And you've been on hold the whole time.
Yeah, been on hold the whole time. No, I just had a question about the Badgers. What a goose egg they laid. Oh, my gosh. I couldn't believe that. I remember seeing Tausch play there and how they managed to manhandle every defensive line they went in front of. But
it's mostly
with the next 3 games coming up with the next 3 games coming up with Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana, if Fickell goes 0-3 against those teams, do you think that his job will be on the line? That's the first question. And then,
yes, I do believe it will be, and I do believe they're going to go 0-3 in those games.
Yeah, I do too. Unfortunately, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm a huge Badger fan, but I hope they maybe pull an upset somehow. But on a better note, way to go, Brewers! Congratulations on getting to the NLCS. Finally, I can feel it in my bones. I'm gonna pick the series like I picked the World Series. World Series we're in 6. This series we're gonna go. I think we're gonna win it in 6 as well. 4-2. My only concern though would be is with our pitcher, and Tausch, you called it. I'm worried about Ashby. I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, maybe you know something I don't know, but I just hope that I know the Brewers are going to do it. I don't know who they're going to start tonight, but they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. I really do. And like I said, thank you for taking my call. And let's go Brewers in 6.
There you have it. Bruin 6.
Take that.
Just to clarify something from Jason's call, the Badgers' upcoming schedule on the gridiron. Number 1, Ohio State, this coming Saturday. Then they are at Oregon. Then they're home against Washington. Keep hope alive.
Yep.
The UWs going at each other. Then they are at Indiana. Then they're home against Illinois. And they're home against Minnesota. So they have what I see
we're on the road against Minnesota.
Oh, you're right. You're at Minnesota.
Go boo in a bar.
Yeah. Go boo in a bar. At Minnesota, I see 3 games that I am fairly certain they will not win on that schedule, and then I see 3 games that they are certainly capable of not winning, but I'm hoping they will.
They couldn't beat Maryland.
I would appreciate more positivity from you, Jesse J. Nelson.
They didn't score against Iowa.
We still have one more segment left in the 10 o'clock hour.
We have another segment in the 10 o'clock hour?
Maybe I'll just read.
My God.
Should I just read Brian Bulaga's text to me at the wedding on Saturday night?
We can read that next after Tausch tells us about American Family Insurance, because we need something that we like to be good to talk about after that Badger discussion.
Well, the Brewers, how about them Brewers? Just like a great team, they need great protection. American Family Insurance knows your family needs it too. That's why they make life better by protecting your dreams with outstanding home and auto policies. So insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.
The 10 o'clock hour continues next.
That's amazing. I'm actually flabbergasted that we're still in the 10 o'clock hour.
You had no role in that whatsoever. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My new friend Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnatthebog.com. Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
0 restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family-owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We've sold over $300 million in real estate since 2020, one of the top-ranked real estate teams in Wisconsin, and we're just getting started. What sets us apart? We care. Even if we're not your agent, we'll still help. That's the kind of stewardship the community deserves. If you're buying or selling across southeastern Wisconsin, let us earn your trust. I'm Tony Wendorf, and I want to create your red carpet experience. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
Any coach will tell you, games are won in the preparation. The same's true in cybersecurity. Trend Micro helps businesses move from reactive to proactive with cyber risk exposure management. That means real-time visibility into your risks across cloud, email, endpoints, and networks. For over 35 years, enterprises worldwide have trusted Trend Micro to prepare, protect, and perform. Don't wait for the next threat to blow the whistle. Get secure now at trendmicro.com, because the best defense is being ready before the game even starts.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free. Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Victory Monday is brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. With delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian, Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer.
Let's
get to one more call as we continue the 10 o'clock hour at 11:07. Let's talk to Jamon in Dallas. Jamon, good morning. Thanks for holding on, buddy. Are you feeling better, worse, or the same about your Green Bay Packers after yesterday's performance, which was a win, by the way?
Well, I mean, going into today, I feel actually didn't feel no better, but after listening to all the calls, I mean, geez, seemed like nobody has faith in the Packers no more. Like, I mean, I understand that they kind of, after yesterday's win, it's a little disappointing. Kind of don't really hear that after a win. But, I mean, we expect better from this team. But I'm kind of like on Ricardo, so go Pack, go. I mean, any win in this league isn't going to be easy. I mean, you know, to beat the Bengals, I mean, the Bengals, I mean, that's a different game than Joe Burrow plays. So, I mean, this wasn't just an easy team to just go in there and just expect to just dominate. So, I mean, go Pack, go. I mean, coming out the bye week, you got a little rust on you, knock it off, and hopefully we'll see a better team next week. Just go Pack, go. I'm sorry. I have nothing negative to say about the team.
Jamon, thank you for your service.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because, look, Jamon's not afraid to criticize even after a win. But he looked at the situation, saw what we needed, and delivered a by the way, you have to be a very avid listener to the program to be name-checking other callers. So that is very much appreciated.
The community.
The loyalty there.
Absolutely.
Not to be confused with the dwellers in the YouTube comments. That was real. Hey, he saw what we needed. Positivity, and we appreciate that. I'm sure he still had some nits that he'd have been happy to pick if he hadn't felt compelled to take that position.
I do wonder if we would have played better if Joe Burrow was quarterbacking, because one of the complaints that I've heard Packer fans also in the last, if I may, is that we play down to our level of competition and we rise up to our level. And obviously Detroit, we rose way above. And I thought Washington we were above because, you know, both of it was all the two teams that were better than you in the playoffs last year. And blah, 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 blah. And then Cleveland, you kind of, I think right now this is a huge game coming up this week because this team has not played well on the road. And teams that are going to win championships, they win road games. You don't need to be 8-0, but I think the old saying goes, win all your home games and split on the road. You're going to be a one. Back in the old days, you're going to be a 1 or a 2 seed, and that's where you want to be. This week, this team needs to go out against an Arizona team. I don't know if Kyler Murray's going to play, but I think that is a fair. Question mark that this team has. Can they win on the road? Can they perform at a higher level than what we've seen so far?
Have they? So you wouldn't say last year's team played down to the level of its competition, because basically the only teams they beat were the teams that weren't very good, right?
Right.
And I would argue, and I'm very curious to see how Thanksgiving plays out in about a month, a little over a month, because and Detroit did not win last night. They lost in Kansas City, but they look a lot different than what we saw on opening night from what I've seen of them. It'll be interesting to see what that looks like come Thanksgiving. The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch will include a cavalcade of fun and hopefully a bunch of text messages, because we haven't gotten to many of those, and I'm sure there's a ton of them that Jesse has been religiously curating for us. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is not your average weekend.
Hey, go Pack, go!
This is no place I've ever been. They've been doubted all year. Everyone.
Fly ball left center. Crow Armstrong is on the move. He's running out of room. It's gone! William Contreras gives the Brewers a 1-0 lead on his second home run of the series.
The pitch. Shanna drive out to left. It is back. Happ at the track at the wall. Bye-bye baseball! Long live Andrew Vaughn! Here's the pitch. And Terang, a fly ball to center. Crow Armstrong's back at the track. It is gone!
Laying it grounded to short. Picking it up Ortiz over to first. Ball game! And the Brewers advance to the NLCS.
Jacob Mizorowski, unreal. I mean, this is all I could ever ask for. It's awesome.
That's as low as it can be.
Oh my goodness!
He's 6'5", 295 pounds. How could you not see him?
This is not acceptable. It doesn't matter who's coaching the team right now, man.
Last 2 games in the series, Iowa has won by a combined score of 79-10.
I'm crushed, disappointed in myself, in our team, but we got one thing to do, and we got to keep swinging.
It's off to the tight end, Kraft. Galloping inside, touchdown!
The Packers won this game because of Jordan Love.
That was one of the better games that he's played for us. I thought he played his ass off.
And Jacobs, look at right down the middle. Touchdown for the second time today.
We have now a 3-week sample where we are 1-1-1. You can't be more meh than 1-1-1.
This is a really emotional time right now.
Big guns in the building. Big juice, man. Let's go!
Touchdown!
To win this series the way we did, I'm just grateful.
And the Brewers are going to the championship series.
Step one is making sure that we find the guys that are going to compete.
The bottom line is you got to find a way to win the game.
We find ways to win, you know.
Nothing like this.
You ready for the Dodgers? Of course, we're always ready.
The 11 o'clock hour, some might say a 4-minute montage, might also factor into our time management.
I actually agree with you. I do.
Jesse, what do you have about the Packers, the Brewers, and the Badgers on the text portion of the Carbless Talkin' text line?
All right, so let's start with Adam in DeForest. The entire offseason, this is Packers, by the way, the entire offseason was based on physicality, but when given the opportunity twice in 5 games to put the game away, they refused to run the ball on 3rd and short. Valid criticism from Adam in DeForest?
Tausch?
Yes. I think it's valid. The Cleveland game, I don't know how many times I have to say that no business not running the football, and even if you don't get it, punt it and go win the game. Last night, Josh Jacobs was a beast. He was a man-child out there. Just watching him run, and when he scored that touchdown on I guess it was the south end zone, I mean, he just barreled through. He is a difference maker. He's such a special player. You always want the ball in your quarterback's hands if you trust him, and I think the Packers trust Jordan. But Josh Jacobs and Adam is 100% right. You lost to Philly, and it's one thing if you're makeshifting your O-line. You had your guys out there. Your preferred guys, and I know Jordan Morgan ended up jumping in there for Sean Ryan for almost the whole game, right, Jay?
1 series Sean Ryan played. 2nd series, that was it.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
So you had your guys, and I agree. If you want to be, it wasn't like it was 3rd and 8. Yeah, I don't have any problem with what Adam said there. None.
I would agree. I would also say, though, that this is the mentality of these coaches, whether you agree with it or not. Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, they all think this way. The old school
Shanahan ran it. Whoa. Shanahan ran it 3rd and 7 against us in an NFC Championship game. He did.
Thank you for that example. But there are lots of other examples in other games against other teams where he throws the football. I don't know what he does nowadays, but he doesn't. Back then, he didn't believe in his quarterback. Fair? He didn't believe in Jimmy Garoppolo. Whether or not he believes in Mac Jones at the point or Brock Purdy, there have certainly been times when he's believed in him. But, again, I think we're missing the forest for the trees here. A lot of these coaches don't believe in run it 3 times and then punt if you don't get the first down.
Agree, but there's a lot of teams that also don't invest in their offensive line and in their running back like the Green Bay Packers did. And again, this wasn't the case where you're going against elite quarterbacks on the other side. That matters. That factors into decisions that are being made by Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, whoever else you want to throw into that category. And I don't have a problem with you running a bootleg or doing – I don't have a problem with that. But Adam's point wasn't the offseason about getting bigger and more physical and tougher in the middle of your O-line?
Yeah, and they ran the ball
yes.
extremely well yesterday.
Yes, they
and
did.
Josh Jacobs was fantastic, and they were physical. Yep. They called the play they called on 3rd and 2. We can Monday morning quarterback it all we want.
But that's what we do. That's what we do. It is. Did it work?
Aware.
Didn't.
The intended receiver on the play was a guy who had a really good game, too. That was Matthew Golden. So I like my chances with Matthew Golden, too. I would agree, though, I would have probably, if I were calling the plays, I would have given the ball to Josh Jacobs, the way they were running the football. Next.
Jeff in the 920. It's a Badgers text, Tausch, so let me know if you want to play or
Jason!
pass. If Old T doesn't want to talk about the Badgers game this weekend, just wait till next weekend when Ohio State drops 60 points on them and the stands are 3/4 empty by the 3rd quarter. This season is an embarrassment.
So here's the deal, Jeff. I have no problem talking about the Badgers. I just am looking at this. I mean, it ain't pretty, man. Yeah, how you can't sit here. The fact that we dumped everything into this game. Like, the emotional energy, you know what it reminded me of a little bit, Jason? And I said this on the broadcast. We got a penalty before the game started. Fearbury. I don't know exactly what was going on. There might have been some logo. But Fearbury gets a penalty, and because I thought it was real odd. Iowa won the toss and took the ball. And I'm thinking to myself, well, their quarterback's hurt too. Their defense is really good. And everybody defers. Well, then you see, Fearbury gets it, and they're kicking off, way back, and they got a great return guy in Weegen. So luckily, they made a stop, ended up going down. I think they either missed a field goal or I don't remember exactly what happened. But the energy level was almost on a lesser degree where you put all your eggs in the basket like Minnesota with Favre and the Packers. Remember how we all talked about after 2009? You can't do that. We dumped so much capital into beating Favre and the Vikings and Jesse Nelson and all the other Packer fans that bailed ship on the G&G. I felt like we really emptied our bucket with the push-ups and all the other stuff, and it just was ugly on ugly on ugly on Saturday. Nothing went right. We turned it over. We had offensively, we were the nicest way I can put it is we struggled immensely on offense.
It's a kind of way to put it, yeah.
And defensively, we also got, we got worn out, which was all season I've said we've struggled in a lot of areas, but our D-line has gotten better and deeper. And Iowa had another really good day running the football against us. And that leaves everybody pretty dejected.
Well said.
Good little summary?
Yeah, I thought I was listening to you and Matt after the game while I was watching the Brewers and finishing my writing. I was triple tasking. And I thought what you said about the bucket emptying and putting so much into, these guys whipped us last year, and this was the game that they were all pointing at, and for it to go as badly as it went is probably, it's more devastating than losing to Alabama. It's more devastating than hanging with Michigan and losing at the Big House, because you were at home. It's homecoming. It's a team that beat your butts the last time you saw them. And look, playing quarterback in college football is hard. I would be curious to know. I was asking a couple of my Badger experts, not the Badgers outsider because he wasn't at the game yesterday, but I was curious what people thought. So I asked Polzine and a couple other people, what would this team be under Fickell if the quarterback specifically recruited to be the starting quarterback actually played all the games in his era?
Yeah.
And I know that's excuse making and polluted mindset and whatever else. But like Tanner Mordecai is good enough that Tanner Mordecai is on an NFL practice squad. Like there's some talent.
We went to a bowl with Tanner Mordecai.
Yeah.
And he missed some games that year.
I don't know about last year. I don't know enough about Billy Edwards to know how much better they would be. But and I don't say this lightly about college football players, but it couldn't have been much worse on Saturday. I was, and I don't know.
And then you get beat badly, and the game ends. And now you have these social media, too. I think Iowa's social media hit us hard, too, after the game with the push-up bit. So it's victors have 1,000 fathers, losers are an orphan. That's kind of where we're at.
Huh. That one I have to look up. I've never heard that one before. Talent out, Denny Tausch.
My old buddy, and I know Oatsy knows, my old buddy Terry Strong, who passed away a while ago, but was just a legendary orator. He would always tell me that. If there's a bad game and, we'd go play some golf, he'd tell me, that saying. And I don't know who invented it, but it's a great saying because it is true. It is true.
Jesse, let's do one more text, and then we'll take a break.
Chef Ed on the text line chiming in. I propose a poll question, says Chef Ed. What's your split on time invested as a fan this week between the Packers and the Brewers?
Time invested?
Yeah, like time spent thinking about the games and preparing for the games and the emotional investment.
Preparing for the games.
I think next week will be the real question. This week, I would think it's going to be 90-10 Brewers.
Yeah, I would agree.
Now, when Pittsburgh and the Packers play, obviously we would be, if we're still in it, we'll be in the World Series, and that'll be a whole another ramp up. And I think it'll be Brewers over Packers then, too, even with the Rodgers storyline.
Yeah, I obviously my job is the Packers, so my percentage doesn't count. But if I were a fan, I'm thinking like 96 Brewers, 4% Packers.
For this week.
For this week, correct.
With it being the Cardinals coming off a win against the Bengals, that's kind of the way the schedule plays, I think. If they're playing the Lions, Vikings, Bears, any of those, like even the...
Oh, my.
No, I don't even think it's still... It might get to 80-20 as the
Lions,
most
I think it would challenge a little bit more, but
not if you're talking about where we're at right now. Nope. Not at this point in the year.
If it was okay. You have your opinion, I have mine. If it was
what
the
do you
Lions,
think it gets to?
If it was Lions in Detroit, the same week as the NLCS, I would think it would be, I don't know, 75-25. It's still heavily favored to the Brewers. It's not a regular season game.
I just said 80-20, and you looked at me like I was crazy, and you come back with 75-25? Oh, you're a beauty. You are a beauty.
You know what's a beauty? Associated Bank is a beauty. They've got great customer service, and they've got the awards to prove it. We're doing these new little videos on game day, me breaking down my 3 things to watch, presented by Associated Bank, and I always have to remember to say, member FDIC in the videos. They're also not just a member FDIC, they're also great when it comes to early pay, in terms of credit monitoring, in terms of fraud protection, and Brewers, Badgers, and Packers checking. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Victory Monday is brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. With delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian, Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more. Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Ready to watch the Packers like a VIP? Cousins Subs put you in the center of it all on the 50-yard line in plush recliner seats, complete with personal TVs and your favorites delivered from Cousins Subs. 2 pairs of fans are selected before each regular season home game to enjoy this one-of-a-kind experience. Enter daily to win the best seats in the house, only from Cousins Subs. Cousins Subs. We believe in better. See rules and eligibility for details.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Zero restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-3100. 800-885-3100. 800-885-3100.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the 2nd floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the 2nd floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
At Wilde Automotive, we make it easier than ever to get you into America's best-selling trucks and SUV during Wilde Truck and SUV Month. Ford, Ram, Chevy, GMC, Jeep, Kia, Volkswagen, and more. Wilde is your one-stop shop for trucks and SUV. All makes, models, and sizes. Choose 0 down, 0 payments till 2026, or 0% financing. All with our low price guarantee. All in one place. Wilde Truck and SUV Month going on now.
Go to ewaldeauto.com.
On select models with approved credit. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
So, should we even get our hopes up, Jesse? Because I was told that we might as well just hand that trophy right out of off the back end of George Costanza's car in the parking lot of Yankee Stadium right to the Dodgers. Have you changed your tune?
No, and apparently neither has Buster Olney, who appeared on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. And per reports, Buster Olney suggesting the Brewers may get swept in the NLCS because
that doesn't know your audience, Buster.
I know, right? That's kind of where we want them, though, isn't it? Like when the Brewers were playing the Cubs, they have home field advantage. The Cubs, there's
home field advantage now.
They do, but it's not the same because even though the Brewers were 6-0 against the Dodgers in the regular season, they only played them in July around the All-Star break. The Dodgers
were missing a bunch of people,
banged up during that window. So the Dodgers and people around baseball aren't even factoring that in, saying it doesn't really count because the Dodgers weren't really the Dodgers at that point in time.
Who gives a blank what people around baseball are saying?
Well, I mean.
Ben Brust.
They know. The Dodgers are loaded. The Dodgers have the massive payroll. The Brewers obviously do not. All the things Hunter Vaughn said on Friday, expressing his frustration on
polluted
how much money is spent on the team. This is where you will see a direct correlation, I'm sure, many times when Brian Anderson and Jeff Francoeur and Ron Darling are on the call on TBS all series long on the contrast in the payroll for each of these teams. But that's kind of where we thrive. As Brewers fans and as Wisconsin sports fans, let's get behind a team that's perceived to be an underdog. Let's get behind a team that's trying to take down Goliath. That's where I feel we are best. And I hope that the Brewers come out of the gates tonight against Blake Snell getting the start for the Dodgers, who's very good, that they come out swinging hot, get a 1-0 series lead, and set the tone right away like they did against the Cubs.
You mean with their you-know-what hot?
Absolutely, yeah. They didn't even go to bed yet because that's how hot it is. Yeah.
Tausch?
I don't have a problem with being this heavy underdog. Again, we beat him we were 6-0 against him, right? Is that all we played was 6 times?
They were 6-0, yes, sir.
And I know they were injured and they didn't have this and they didn't have that, and we're going to be all payrolled out and everything else, but this is a different team, and we had not won a playoff series since 2018. Somebody had a very snarky, which I'm not sure is accurate. Do we have the same amount of wins as Craig Counsell's? Pat Murphy have the same amount of wins in playoff series? That doesn't seem right to me. Maybe I'm wrong. This will be one of those, I think, the horsepower is heavy to the Dodgers, but we have a much better bullpen, like much better. We just have to get to, and I just remember watching the Dodgers-Brewers series this year, and it just felt like every time we got their starter out, it was Rap City. We were going to pound on them. They don't have anybody to trust. We got to make these games long. We got to battle these starting pitchers. We got to make them get their pitch count up and get in that pen. We get in that pen, we're going to be penning our way to a World Series. Period, fin. If we let their starters dominate, we'll be in trouble. It seems like we're built to battle, claw, and get pitch counts up and get into bullpens. And when you do that, you're going to have success against this team from L.A.
I hope you're right. I hope Buster Olney couldn't be more wrong.
Right. It's just whether or not we can. I mean, do we have the pitching to hold off? They got horses all over the place. Like, that is stable on stable on stable of different thoroughbreds. And if they get hot.
They've got Secretariat and they've got, whatever
Seattle
other.
Slew. You want to get
You're
into
the
Seattle
horseman.
Slew? Charismatic.
Well, you're the one who's been to the Kentucky Derby more than me, so I was counting on you there, and I appreciate you picking me up.
Have you been to the Derby?
Yeah, you've been there. However many times you've been there is that number of times more than I've gone. Yes, that's correct. I've never been. Nor do I want
maybe
to
you've been there. So I don't know. Do we have enough that because every time Freeman's up, Mookie,
Antonio
Shohei, we have to limit that part of it, and I don't know how they've hit so far in the postseason. I don't think they put up a ton of runs against Philly. I don't believe. I think there's a lot of tight games that
they bashed the Reds pretty good in those 2 games, but Philly was a little lower scoring.
Hey, bruh, Edinburgh, we ain't the Reds. This to me, it all comes down to can we get in there? Can we get in their pen? And we need to hold serve at home. We need to be the dominant home team. And by the way, I've been to Dodger Stadium. I've had a Dodger dog. It was in the middle of summer years ago. It ain't going to be Wrigley. This isn't going to be, oh, my God, our eyes, we're deer in the headlights, and we don't know what's going on, like what happened at Wrigley. That happened at Wrigley. That ain't happening out there. They got Nancy Grace, and who's the other gal that sits behind home plate? What show is she
Mary
on?
from Entertainment Tonight, yeah.
Mary Hart.
Mary Hart, yeah.
They got Mary and Nancy Grace, and I don't know what other Baldwin brothers. I don't know who else they got out there. But they show up in the 3rd inning. This isn't going to be some raucous, oh, my God, Larry King. I think he's still around, isn't he? If Larry King's still around, he always sat out there.
Yeah, no.
He passed? I'd rather have you correct me than correct me the other way.
Larry King died 4 years ago.
Larry did? R.I.P. to Larry. Legend.
Hashtag breaking.
But I'm telling you, it ain't going to be the same. It's not going to be as daunting. You know how we've been undaunted? We got daunted down at Wrigley. We won't be daunted out there. We might get mashed. The monster mash might happen with all the home run hitters they got, but we ain't going to be daunted.
I don't love that the Brewers are starting game 1 with a bullpen game. It'd be nice to have some horses.
It's not. I was explaining this to my dad this morning.
Quintana and Priest are going to pitch.
Yeah,
they're 2 of our starting pitchers.
You just need. It's a mentality thing. When you're facing the best hitters are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the opposing lineup. So starting with one of your best pitchers, McGill, or whoever you play based on the matchups out of the bullpen.
Uribe.
Then bringing in
Crancy.
The pitcher, let's say it's Priester, who would throw 4 innings likely anyway.
It's a perfect game for Ashby to go tonight, too. Because Freeman's a lefty, too, right? Shohei and Freeman are both lefties. This would be ideal. I think they start Koenig. Sneaky Koenig tonight.
Tausch, since this was much maligned for the NLDS, I'm happy to share with you the roster has been announced for the NLCS.
Oh, just in time for tonight's game.
Is Woody there? Is Woody on there?
Brandon Woodruff is not on the NLCS roster. Only one change. Nick Mears, who was good out of the bullpen and could have been in the running to be used as an opener. Nick Mears is not on the NLCS roster.
Whoa. Why would that be, Jesse? Explain it to me like I'm your dad.
I don't know why Nick Mears is not on the NLCS roster. I can assume it's an injury because he was used pretty in significant roles in the NLDS, so I would assume it's injury related. Tobias Myers is added to the NLCS roster in his place. That's the only change.
Tausch, whether it's deers in the headlights or Packers winning at Lambeau Field, Tito's vodka is the beverage of choice.
Oh, and Tito's flows beautifully at the Trio. It flowed beautifully during the game yesterday, watching the big win. You guys know I love it. Football, firing up the grill, and a Tito's in my hand. Whether it was a lot of spicy Bloody Marys to start pregame yesterday, a lot of lemonade, a little cranberry, a lot of cranberry with the Tito's yesterday. It doesn't matter what you mix it with. Just make sure it is Tito's in your glass. And not only they make great drinks, Tito's also gives back in a big way, partnering with nonprofits and doing real good in the communities across the country, especially for our four-legged friends. So the next time you're raising a glass, make it with Tito's handmade vodka, crafted to be savored responsibly. I love that Jesse broke down. Well, a lot of times you bet your best players 1 through 4 in your lineup. That was some analysis that I hadn't heard in a long time, so I appreciate that, Jell.
And Ed Helms sucks, but maybe he'll be at the game game 3 in LA.
Is Shohei still leading off for them?
Not normally, I don't think.
Okay. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hi, it's Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch, inviting you to join me July 5th on a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. We'll take in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. Imagine standing before Big Ben in London, then later gazing out from Edinburgh Castle. So rich in history, it feels like you're stepping back in time. Along the way, we'll explore the storybook villages of Chester and Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon, places where every street seems to whisper a piece of history. And how about a scenic train ride through the rolling green hills that lead us right into the medieval city of York? It's all part of this incredible journey. From iconic landmarks to cozy villages, from bustling city streets to peaceful countryside views, you'll experience the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty, and create memories that last a lifetime. To learn more about this amazing adventure, text TRAVEL to 800-990-3776 or visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com for full details.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com to book today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now's the time to plan your total experience getaway to the Island Resort and Casino. With over 450 hotel rooms and a luxurious spa, relax in style before diving into non-stop casino action. Watch your favorite teams on the big screens and enjoy great food and drinks at T McSee Sports Bar. Or savor top-tier dining at Horizon Steakhouse. Then amp up your night with live music and comedy. Head to where the big game, big wins, and big fun come together. The Island Resort and Casino.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
On the sky and the stars glow for you. Go see the world 'cause it's all so brand new. Don't close your eyes 'cause your future's ready to shine. It's just a matter of time before we learn how to fly.
We got to go quick, much like the Packers at the end of overtime in that tie with the Cowboys.
Time now for Won't Knowing.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, so first of all, a statistical correction here. Tausch, you asked, does Shohei Ohtani still hit leadoff for the Dodgers? I said no. Correct answer is yes. Ohtani has led off for the Dodgers in every playoff game so far that they have played, all 6 of them, including the 2 wild card wins over the Reds.
And just to be clear, smart teams like to put their best hitters at the top of their lineup.
Whoa, Nelly!
I never heard that before.
It's a bold strategy.
You ain't getting anywhere else.
I'm just trying to bring comfort to those who are nervous about the bullpen starter.
You did it in a very condescending way with the lineup.
Yes,
this is how I explained it to my dad.
Whoa, Nelly!
It was very
Smuggy
yes, you guys are
McGee.
idiots. You don't know anything about
Jesse Costas.
Yeah. If you think that's smug,
yes, Jesse Costas. That's a good one.
Whoa, Nelly!
Jesse.
You could have called me that Saturday night at a wedding in Chicago, surrounded by Cubs fans, alone on an island as the only true Brewers fan in attendance at the wedding. And, oh, baby, when they won Game 5, open bar, having a fun time, dancing fool till they closed it down. Oh, we had fun on Saturday night.
Is there video of you dancing?
Win. Somewhere.
Can we do a did she only?
I don't know if I want to see what it looked like because I'm not normally a dancer at weddings.
Jesse, hey, you let it rip, baby. So
dance like no one's watching.
Yeah.
And then somebody might play it on our show.
Oh, we had fun. We had fun. So there were no TVs in the ballroom we were in. Almost every table had at least one Cubs fan who had the game up on their baby phones. So walking around the entire ballroom, going to get, beverages to the dance floor, whatever, every table you could kind of glance and see the game going on. It was a one-of-a-kind experience. I would not recommend it ever because it was very not conducive for socializing and paying attention to what we were really there for, which was the wedding of 2 of my good friends. But the bride was a Cubs fan, so she was totally fine with everyone having the game on all night long. She was interested in what was happening. So overall, fun time. Hopefully there's no weddings planned for me the rest of the time here through the World Series, should the Brewers be lucky enough to get there. That's my wedding Brewers observation recap.
And Ed Helms sucks. That is Whoa Nelly. Such
where
that
would
it was.
These 2 that got married, where would they bat in your batting order?
6, 7.
Nice. Well done. Good. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Kyle Bruston Nortman.
This is Matt LaFleur after the game. If I knew it was going to end like that, we would have gone faster.
That dude,
KBN.
That drove me crazy. Listen, anybody, make sure y'all listen to his presser at the end of the game, and you will walk away saying, this is a man that does not know who the heck he is.
Kyle Bruston Nortman. Afternoons from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
Coming into the game as 13.5-point underdogs, newly acquired quarterback Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals kept things close with the green and gold as they trailed 24-18 late in the fourth quarter. But a Jordan Love 31-yard completion to rookie Matthew Golden put the game away for a 27-18 win for the Packers. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
There's a lot of things that we have to clean up, but the bottom line in this league is you've got to find a way to win each and every game. And you do it one day at a time, one game at a time. And if you're focused on anything other than that, you're focused on the wrong stuff.
The Packers will gear up to head out west to take on the Arizona Cardinals next Sunday.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Why Z-Bart? Because you have a manly truck that you do manly things with, and you don't want the truck bed getting all beat up. You want Rhino Liner by Z-Bart to keep your truck bed man-proof. So man up and ask for Rhino Liner by Z-Bart.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's Student Athlete of the Week is Port Washington's Jack Bunyan. As just a sophomore, Bunyan took over as the starting quarterback for the Pirates and made an immediate impact. In their game against Watertown, Bunyan completed 13 of 22 passes for 322 yards and 5 touchdowns, setting 2 new school records and leading Port Washington to a 56-28 win over the Goslings. And when he's not leading the charge on the football field, Bunyan also shines on the diamond as a standout baseball player. Congrats to Jack Bunyan, this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and football season is here. Are you ready to make some money? My Week 0 plays were absolutely on fire. 13-2 across all sports during Saturday of Week 0. Now it's Week 1 of the college football season. Are you ready to make money? Go to FatJackSports.com. It's less than $100 a week to turn a profit betting the games. All the games are documented, they're posted, and you'll get a recommended betting guide that will help you make money betting on sports this week. FatJackSports.com. Sign up today and win this weekend.
Every great team starts with a strong defense, and the same's true in business. That's why companies trust Trend Micro for cybersecurity. From ransomware to phishing to the most advanced cyber threats, they help protect your network, your data, and your people. With over 35 years of expertise, Trend Micro has built a defensive playbook trusted by enterprises worldwide. Your business works too hard to get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right. That's trendmicro.com.
When you've been seriously injured, you need a trusted team on your side. Gruber Law Offices is available 24/7 and will even come to you. Your first call is free. Your first visit is free. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Nights when we were young, dumb, and wild and free. When I close my eyes, I can see you in my sweatshirt.
Tausch, we got 30 seconds before we got to get to the next program, which of course is the Rich Eisen Show. Tell me something intelligent before we go.
Well, I think intelligent from my end is we need to be loud and big time tonight down at AmFam Field.
You going to be there?
No, I think I'm trying to get there tomorrow night. Tonight I couldn't pull off. Tomorrow night I am planning. We have tickets for games 6 and 7 if needed.
6-7.
6-7. And I am going to do my best to get down there tomorrow. But, man, we're here.
I'm sorry, your time is up. That's
here.
It for us today. We'll have to do it again tomorrow. 30 seconds, man. Come on. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin?